everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Nicole from Zen Electric Bikes, and today we're going to be building a bike. Our Zen Samurai e-bikes are really easy to put together, but they do require a couple of tools. First off, you'll need a flat head screwdriver, then a 2.5mm Allen key, as well a 4mm Allen key, and a 6mm Allen key. One thing to mention is that building a bike for the first time can be slightly intimidating, and you don't have to do it alone. There are tons of local bike shops in every neighborhood that are happy to build bikes for you and have all the tools. Although this does cost an additional fee, it is definitely an awesome option if you don't feel comfortable building a bike. You get 3 boxes in your Zen delivery. One is all you need to charge and assemble your bike. 2 is the pedals, and lastly, and most importantly, your battery. First off, your charger box. Let's open it up, and on top you'll have a little baggie that holds the keys to your e-bike battery. These are really important to keep around, just if you ever want to get into your e-bike battery compartment. Secondly is your e-bike display. This will vary depending on which model of bike you have. This is for our base model. And then lastly, your bolts and front straps for your e-bike. So you have 4 front stem bolts right here, a front fender, and your front washer is getting away on me. So your front washer and bolt for your front fender. And then if you find your e-bike fender is rattling a little bit, you can use these straps to dampen the noise. Next up, we have the charger. So this is like your regular laptop charger or anything like that. It has 2 parts, so you plug in the one side to the other side of the block, and then it just plugs into a regular wall charger. Next up is your pedals. So when you open this guy up, you'll just find your left and right pedal in here, and you'll be good to assemble them. Lastly, your e-bike battery box, which contains the battery manual in here, as well as your e-bike battery. So depending on which model you have, it will have 1 or 2 of these boxes. Now, taking your bike out of the box might be a little bit difficult, so it's best to invite a friend. I have Blair here to help me get the bike out of the box.
Now that we've got the bike out of the box, it's going to come in this orientation specifically. The first thing you're going to want to do is, we've got the fork and stem backwards to fit in the box properly. So you're going to take this, turn it around, and just gently dangle the handlebars. Do is attach the handlebars. We're going to lift these up. Make sure they're in the proper orientation. You're going to grab your light and your stem cover. You're going to grab your light and your stem cover, put it inside, and then you're going to have 4 bolts that came in the Ziploc bag. And what we're going to do is we're going to, first off, we're going to hand thread these in so everything stays in place. If you can. If the computer's in the way, you can certainly remove it. And then we're going to tighten down the stem in a cross pattern. Until the bolts are almost snug. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to set the barrel roll. Now this is personal preference, what I had set and built the bike to. There's also lines in the center here. You want to have the lines centered in the bike, or in the stem, sorry. Then once you have the bar in a position you think you're going to enjoy, we're going to go ahead and finish tightening down the bolts. Like I said before, if the computer or the computer mount is in the way, they are tight so they don't move, but if you do need to like move them a little bit, it will move with a little bit of force. If the computer mount is in the way, what you can do is you can loosen off the bolts a little bit and slide it so you can get at the stem. If you have a torque wrench at home, these bolts are torqued to 6 Newton meters. If not, then snug to tight is where you want them. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take the bolt that you found in your Ziploc bag, put them in the fender mount on the back of the fork. What we're going to do now is screw it in most of the way. We want it still a little loose so it can slide up and down a little bit. And then we're going to put on the fender mounts. Down here at the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to take these, we're going to click them in. And then you're going to go tighten up the back of the fork bolt. Next thing we're going to do is take out the pad separator out of the front brake. You just pull it straight out, and these are good to keep if you do travel with your bike at all and take the front wheel off. This keeps the pads from closing in on themselves, so keep that around. For those of you working at home without a bike stand or any proper bike tools, what we're going to do next is we're just going to put the saddle in real quick. Doesn't really matter the height. We can adjust it for the height for you later. But we're going to put the saddle in, and we're actually going to flip the bike upside down to put the front wheel in. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the front wheel. What you're going to do is you're going to come over to your bike, and we're going to remove the axle from the front wheel. Going to take the front wheel, make sure your rotor is on the same side as your caliper so the brakes work fine. You're going to set your wheel in your bike. You're going to have to hold it there, and then you're going to come to the other side, put your axle through, and there's a little hexagon on your axle. You make sure the hexagon's lined up, and you can push it all the way in until it's just showing the circle bits, and then you're going to tighten your axle with your 6mm Allen key. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to install your battery. So you're going to come down here with a flathead, a coin, something that you can open the battery cover with. You're going to turn it open, remove the battery cover. This is the inside of your bike. As you can see, the battery contacts are up here. There's a big hook. What you want to do is you want to align your battery specifically with the hook into this particular hole. We're going to put it in, just kind of sit it there for a second. Now you want to make sure you have your keys in your bike. So I'm gonna, at the moment, I'm pushing up on the battery and turning the key, and as you've seen, when I turned the key, it opened up the front piece, the battery slid in, and now I'm just gonna click it into place. We're gonna put the top cover back on. There's a little hook that hooks onto the frame bit here. You just kind of hook it on like that, hold it down, and then turn the knob. The last thing we're gonna do is put the pedals on. The pedals are pre-greased a little, but feel free to put more grease on them. Now there is a left and right specific pedal. Right here on the pedal spindle, it'll say CRL or CRR. Obviously the R is the right, the L is the left. The left will also have a line cut in on the pedal spindle just so you can identify it pretty quick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here and we're going to take our 6mm Allen key or our fingers and spin them in until they don't really spin anymore. Another quick note is if you do have a 15mm pedal wrench or something like that, you can spin them in by turning the cranks backwards. Or you can take your 6mm Allen key from behind, spin them in. Always at the end you want to make sure that they're tight, so do take a 6mm Allen key, tighten them up, along with the other pedal as well. So you're going to flip it back around, and then if you haven't already done so, put your display in, and now you're ready to ride.
Now that you've built your bike, you're ready to get on the road. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us on the Zen team. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Nicole. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week.